up, guys? So I've got a very, very, very awesome one to show off. It is loud. It is awesome. It was a pain. It was all the things. So, cotton candy piranha. So, I'd like to reference specifically what cerakotes we use, but we had to use a mixture of base coat before we applied it because, like the ube red that we wanted to use for this pink, didn't quite work as well. I'm going to open up these blinds a little bit. The ube red that we used didn't work as well until we put a different color base coat under it to lighten it up. So I can't quite reference what it is other than this is the cotton candy build. And if somebody wants that, we will custom create these colors again. So we've got, we'll just say pink and teal. We'll just go with pink and teal. If you want a pink and teal build, you'd have to say like the cotton candy build because pink and teal are actually both different colors with cerakote. But pink case, teal crown, a mixture of pink and teal for both the dial, the shark mesh hybrid, and the bezel insert, and obviously the clasp. So to do the dial, we had to do the whole thing in pink, bake it, then the whole thing in teal, and before you bake it, wet sand it off of the raised areas, which is the piranha. So if it's not deeply etched, that makes it very tough. So sometimes it's easier than other times. Did a white PloProf style handset on there. This bezel insert is a Yacht Master. Always keep canned air on hand. Is a Yacht Master, and if you can see, it is raised. And that is how we had to do that one. We had to do the whole thing in pink. So picture this insert's not inside this shark tooth bezel. We have to do the whole thing in pink, bake it, then the whole thing in teal, and then remove it from each piece that's raised, and then bake it. So that's kind of how we have to do it. It's a big pain. It's a little more expensive to do that kind of thing. But that's how we do dual cerakote. And then these are just being essentially taped off in a nutshell. Anchor engraved crown, piranha engraved side, piranha engraved crackback, case, clasp. I'm looking at the caseback back here. I'm 3 seconds ahead in my head. Piranha engraved clasp, low profile exhibition caseback, stainless steel movement holder, and a gilded rotor in there. And this has kept perfect time. So with these aggressive shark tooth bezels, they go on super flipping tight without me even having to help it. So you can turn it left and you can turn it right, but phew, pack a lunch. It will, I mean, you can see how much I got to push in the dang thing to turn it. All right, so bezels turn left, bezels turn right. The extra cerakote makes it even tougher to do that. Automatic mechanical, so you can wind it, you can wear it, you can put it in a watch winder, but if it's dead or you're not going to be very active, make sure you wind it just a little bit before you put it on to make sure you keep time throughout the day. How you do that is you back the crown off the threads until you hear it clicking. At that point, you can wind, and a wind is a turn away from you. Turning it towards you doesn't do anything, but it's a lot easier to keep your fingers spacing and just go back and forth. If you do this for 4 or 5 seconds before you put it on, even if you're not very active, you will keep time throughout the day. And if you do it for something closer to 20 seconds, you're going to max out your 31 plus hour power reserve on it. You cannot overwind it. When you are good, pull it to the one and only click, and you can now set your time. It does not have a hacking movement, so it's going to keep going. And you also notice you've got a wobble crown that deflects the lateral pressure from going into the stem and into the movement. So when you're pushing prime on it, you are not hurting anything. It is deflecting it. Okay, Google, what time is it?
It's 3:46 p.m.
I got to get to the post office with this before 4:30. Packed up and ready to go. When you're good, push it over, get it out of that time setting. I do a little kind of flick over to make sure I disengage the clutch. If you do it slow and just kind of push it over, you can technically still be in the wind setting. In your first turn, you like move it because you didn't actually get it out of there. It's still kind of engaged. That is your build, man. This thing is loud. It is awesome. The wife loves it. The kid loves it. Everybody loves it. and you will love it as well. We were actually able to arguably match your watch with beads, which is surprising. I learned a couple things today. I did not have anything other than red Piranha boxes. Apparently, red's what people don't buy, or I never build because I don't feel like I have anything to match it. So I got 3 red Piranha boxes, no others. So I needed like more like a white. I doubted I'd have that. And I thought, I'm just going to send you one of these because you're just going to put it on your big wall box anyway. But at least I can give you a white one, which will kind of go with it. Just remember your white box. Just remember your Piranha. There's no Piranha on it. That's that. Every build comes with watch cleaners. This is good on all glass and metal parts of this watch as a whole. Non-streaky, non-toxic, non-residue. And some fine scratch remover. This is for this acrylic glass because you can scratch it. If you do, put a tiny bezel on it, buff against it, filling that scratch using your included microfiber. Buff against the scratch, not with it. That's to not remove the compound, and use your thumb to generate some heat, and you should buff it out in about 20 seconds. But that said, this Yachtmaster insert is raised to scratch this glass. You'd have to almost directly get this glass on something, because the watch face as a whole, if you did it, you'd hit these indexes first. They are just slightly taller. Of course it's not focusing. I mean, you see how the glass is right there? And now, of course, it doesn't want to focus. You see how you don't see the glass sticking up? And there's the glass. So if you do it, you could potentially get to the color under the pink, which is gold, I think, before it was bead blasted and cerakoted. So probably don't do that. If you had a normal insert that we can't cerakote, the glass would be the highest point, but those are like 2-3 millimeter raised indices. So that is your build, buddy. I appreciate your time, man. I'll get it sent out to you today. It was fun to build. It looks great. It's a pain to build, but it was also awesome to build the whole time. So appreciate you, man. If you want me to build you something custom and unique and wild like this, reach out and I'll see what I can do. And if you want to continue to see videos like this, like and subscribe as I put them up all the time. Oh, should I throw some just so you see it, what it looks like? I mean, it's just your pips and that. So just throwing that out there. Sometimes I do that. Sometimes people go, oh, what do the pips look like? Just little loom balls. I don't know. I usually only show it off whenever it's like a full loom dial or a back loom dial or something like that. Something like out of the ordinary. But yeah, it all came together well, buddy. I appreciate you, man.